Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. So today we will discuss about AWS Wavelength and how the questions are asked in the AWS Cloud practice. So let's start with the first question. A developer is building an application that requires ultra low latency for real-time video analytics on a mobile device connected via 5G, which AWS service allow the developer to deploy these application components closer to the end user, right? So the correct answer is B, because Wavelength is specially designed to deploy AWS compute and storage services within 5G network, minimizing the latency by reducing the distance data and travels. CloudFront is for content delivery. Outpost is on-premise infrastructure, and local zones are for latency-sensitive application at the age of internet, but not specially 5G carrier network. Which of the following primary benefits of using AWS Wavelength? It provides a way to run applications on customer-owned hardware. It allows applications to reach end user with single-digit millisecond latency. It replaces the need of standard AWS region. No, it is a tool for managing. No, C and D is definitely not there. It provides a way to run application on customer-owned. No, I think B is the correct answer. Yes, wavelength primary value proposition is single digit millisecond latency for mobile 5G application. It does not replace regions. It is not for customer hardware. It is not a database tool. A company wants to host an autonomous vehicle control system that requires sub 10 millisecond per millisecond response time wise wavelength, the ideal choice compared to the standard AWS. It's significant cheaper than no. It eliminates the need of no. It bypasses the latency the public internet by residing the at the edge. I think C is the correct answer. It provides unlimited. No, I think C is the correct answer. Yes, C is the correct answer. By replacing at the edge of carrier network, traffic does not have to travel the public internet significantly, reducing the latency. Yeah. A team is using wavelength zone, which AWS services are typically extended into these S3, EC2, Immersion Glacier, Cloud Formation. Um, okay, it's a tricky one. Wavelength zone, AWS service typically extended into these zones S3, EC2, and EBS, Glacier, and Snowball. Okay, I think B, I might be wrong, but B is the correct answer. EC2 comes with an compute power and beanstalk. We all know it makes the deployment process automated. So yes, this will come in that zone. Which of the following use case is most suitable for AWS? Hosting a static, no. Performing a massive batch data. Real time. C is the correct answer. Long term archival, no. Yes, C, because AR, VR, and interactive gaming requires extreme low latency, which is the exact problem why Wavelength solves. Static S3 can use and region batches Glacier can use. Wavelength zone connected to AWS region. How is wavelength zone via standard? It is not connected through a secure high bandwidth connected back to mm, wavelength zone connected to AWS region. I think C is the correct answer. Might be wrong, but yes, wavelength zone are interacted with the parent AWS, allowing you to use AWS service back. Right. A developer needs to deploy an application in a wavelength zone. What is the process for creating resources there? A developer needs to deploy an application in wavelength zone. What is the process for creating resources? You must contact 5G carrier. Use AWS Miner or CLI to select wavelength zone, just like you would do for an. You must be. No, it is not. I think B is the correct answer. Yes, AWS abstracts the complexity. You can manage wavelength resource through standard AWS tools. make it easy to deploy alongside with AWS services. Is it possible to use a load balancer with wavelength? Yes, you can use or network load. Only classic, only. No, I think B is the correct answer. Yes, we can use a load balancer with wavelength, allowing for high availability and traffic distribution at the edge. Which of the following statement about wavelength security is correct? Is ignores all? No. Wavelength same as standard AWS regions using VPC security groups and IAMs. Data in wavelength is not encrypted. Only AWS staff. No. I think B. I think B is the correct answer, right? Yeah, AWS follows the shared responsibility model. You can retain control over security configuration regardless of whether the resources is in region or at the edge. 19th, why is AWS Wavelength considered a carrier edge location? It is managed entirely by the mobile network. It embeds AWS compute storage inside the telecommunications service provider. It is intended only for people who work in shipping. No, it requires the user to be telecommunication engineer. No, boss. B is the correct answer. The carrier edge. Yes. So these is how you face the questions for AWS wavelength. And if you want to understand AWS wavelength, comment. We will share you a separate video. But yes, this is what how you get the questions for AWS Wavelength. Share with the ones who really want to excel in career with AWS. And yes, it's a great service to learn about. Thanks for sharing and watching.